Hey guys, Zillion Frogs back in another video review, and this time we are actually taking a look at, technically his name was Road Handler and Skya, but as you've probably seen from the last review, I actually changed up the names. I wanted to give them new names to kind of reflect the more bestial personality, I guess. All except for Skya, because I think that's a good enough name. There's really nothing like, I don't know, vehicle about the name. It was just Sky with an A at the end. Oh well. But here we actually have. Uh, sorry guys, frog in my throat. But here we actually have his new name, Tramplehide. And I picked Tramplehide because I wanted. He's kind of based off a rhinoceros, sort of, except with an extremely long tail. I just I think you probably already know what these are going to become if you already saw my last combiner, but yeah, I wanted to go like hide, like animal skin, and trample, because rhinoceros will trample you if it angry. Oh well. So yeah, Tramplehide and Skya in their more bestial forms. Now, obviously, I think Skya is actually probably one of the least changed in terms of beast, like in terms of its alternate mode, because it's very similar to its jet mode. This has more bestial looking head. It's still kind of made out of the same pieces, just arranged slightly differently, especially with the Technic, which now looks more like an eye. The wings are actually a lot more articulate, just because they're actually based around the foot this time instead of the arms, so it has a lot more free range, like the flap, forward, back, ball joints. Love them. I've actually created, now what I like, one thing I actually did was it has like the same exact connector bits, because these are actually going to connect to Tramplehide, because Sky actually kind of forms, I don't know, kind of like the back and head section of the beast, uh, the combined mode. But I actually try to at least like imitate them as, like claws, his talons, where she can just rest right there. Sorry guys, someone just coming down the stairs. Also gave it a tail. As unfortunate bit is that you can see the combiner thing just sticking out the back, which it's out of there on necessity, and you can, of course, you can just take it off if you don't want to, but I don't like parts forming all that much. Unless if it has, I don't know, they can turn into something else that it needs. So yeah, that's basically Skya. Now to Tramplehide. Tramplehide, big, bulky rhinoceros thing. Honestly, I actually think that the beast mode is a little lacking, but it's the best I could have done. There's actually one beast mode that's even more lacking, and you'll see that in the next review. So yeah, you got, of course, the 4 feet. Of course, obviously this one's going to become his legs and arms. Very simple to deter, especially with the fists is right there. I actually guess you can kind of fold them in. I might do that. You look at the front. It actually has a nice, very different head assembly than Road Handler, except this is actually going to become his robot head. Well, it's not going to be like that. Nah. You'll actually see that later. But actually, that's pretty much it for Tramplehide in beast mode. So we're just going to transform them, and I'm going to start with Skya. Now, Skya, it's pretty much the same transformation, except first you actually have to take off the tail fin, because this is actually going to become her weapon. Next we gotta do is just kind of straighten out the legs of the robot. Kind of just put the whole leg assembly down just slightly. Of course, obviously these are gonna become arms right here, so you're just gonna pull them out. And she has much shorter arms than last time, because I'm actually using this piece instead of like, because she used to have this piece as her upper arm, but I didn't see that as necessary anymore since the wings are actually relegated to her legs now, which we're actually gonna move that out of the way. We're gonna rotate so that the shells are forward. We're gonna rotate around the feet, like so. Next we gotta do is come to the back, straighten out the combiner pieces, and then fold. Actually, before we do that, what I like to do is just take these pieces right here, just fold them like straight, so we actually have enough room to pull out the head. Rotate this around, become her face, and now we can actually fold in the bird head. And what I like to do is actually take these combiner sections, fold them all the way down, and loop them underneath the bird head like that. Kind of just get these out of the way. Next, just kind of rearrange just the wings. Is kind of like skirt armor, I guess. Pull down the hands and arms and give her her weapon. Here we have Skya in her new robot mode. Now Skya is actually, again, probably the least changed in terms of robot mode, except for maybe the legs. Well, the legs of the beast mode. Sorry, the other two guys. But she has enough differences, of course. Much smaller arms. The wings are actually now relegated to her legs. It's kind of like skirt armor. But other than that, it's pretty much identical. You know, same feet, same legs. Almost same lower arms. I'm not quite sure. But same chest, same head. Pretty much the same. Articulation is the same as well, except probably a bit more limited in the hip region just because of these big wings. But it was like that for the upper arms as well, for shoulders. But yeah, that's pretty much Skya. Really nothing different, except now she has a weapon, this weird bladey, grabby claw thing. Oh well. Now let's move on to Tramplehide, which is actually the most changed out of the two. First thing we want to do for transformation is, let's just actually get the arms out of the way, just fold them up. Next we have to get these tan shell pieces, just relegate them out like that. Just get everything out of the way first. Same with the legs. All legs are pretty straightforward, just straighten them out. Turn these feet around and they are robot legs, which he has the same exact leg design as the old one. Now you have to get these combiner pieces, relegate to the back, and just gotta fold them right there to the back. And what I like to do now is actually lift them upward. You can see that. What I like to do with this version is just fold them completely up like that, which kind of reminds me of like Onslaught or Bruticus's like double barrels just sticking up, which I always thought that was cool. Now we can straighten out the arms, rotate the fists. So straighten out the arm, rotate the fist. Now to get these shell pieces, what I like to do is rotate them around and actually kind of make these shell pieces kind of like hook into this little cavity like that, so it kind of like surrounds the Technic piece, which kind of just keeps everything, you know, there, kind of locks it all into place. Now we can just bring the arms down. Like, oh, that does that a lot. Yeah, bring down the arms and then the head, which this is actually the eyepiece, just like the old road handler, and it's kind of whoop. I don't know what else to put it, but yeah, that's his new head. And here we have Tramplehide. I almost said Road Handler, but we have Tramplehide in his robot mode. And Tramplehide is actually the most changed. I think the biggest change has to be that he actually now has armor, you know, like this massive chest piece now. He has these nice big shoulder pads, which before uh, he didn't really have. I think the only arm pieces he had was actually on the lower legs, like before, like here, and just this chest piece, just different. Which that was it. He didn't have any armor right here. He actually had these big wheel assemblies, which I did like because it actually made him roll. Same with he had, instead of like these shell pieces, I think it was attached like right here, but he had this like big wheel assembly, which he was like the only one of my Bioformers that could roll, but now it's not necessary because he is a beast and beasts don't roll. They don't have wheels. But yeah, articulation is a bit more limited now, just because of these big shoulder pads, which actually they don't really limit all that much, except for maybe upward movement, but that's really all you need. Neck is a double ball joint, so it can look left and right, up and down, kind of like hunch, which I always like him to do, kind of like a hunch right there, like over his chest. I do like the new head too. I think it's a lot more full, has a lot more personality to it. I like to think that the horn kind of made like a nice spiky goatee in this form, you know, just a bit more character to it. It also comes with a weapon, or I made him a weapon, just giant sword. Just plugs in right there. I think it works well because it's kind of like a horn kind of aesthetic to it. Same with the rhino. So yeah, you can just, you know, slice and dice with his partner, Skya. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the bodies, the body of the beast. Next will be the legs, which I think they're the least changed out of all of these. So just you can look that up for next week. And as always, I am Zillion Frogs, asking like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.